Hello, guys. Yes, it's me, your favorite YouTuber and content creator extraordinaire, Abby. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, welcome. First, I want to just remind you to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share my video to anyone you think might enjoy these topics. Today, I have a very interesting topic I wanted to talk to you guys about, or better yet, we're going to read some stories and then we're going to discuss them. But basically, we're going to be reading glitches in the Matrix stories from Reddit. All of that stuff, it like really interests me, so we're definitely going to have fun today. All right, so we're just going to jump right in, and I'm going to read you guys the one that I thought was like hilarious. And this might not be that funny to anyone else, but it was to me, so I'm just gonna share it with you guys. Okay, and if you see me looking off to the side, it's because I'm looking at my laptop, so that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so it says, I was someone's glitch in the Matrix. At first I read it and was like, what are you talking about? But you'll see. Okay, so this says, I went out, parked in front of a store, bought a 6-pack of water, and went to register number 2. Paid with change. Half an hour later, I remembered I wouldn't be going out anytime soon again, so I decided to buy more water, and everything happened in the exact same order. I parked at the same spot, entered, bought a 6-pack, register 2 is free. Same girl working there. I even paid with the same amount of change coins. I think he meant he paid with the same amount of coins in change. Wait, I said that backwards. He paid with the same amount of change in coins. She looked at me with a bit of horror and confusion, but couldn't see me smiling under my mask. When I read that, I was like, I put myself in the cashier's shoes and was like, imagine going to work and having a customer who buys a 6-pack, pays in coins or in change, and then leaves. And then like 30 minutes later, the same customer you may not know it's the same customer, but the same customer walks in, buys a 6-pack and coins. Like, yeah, she was definitely telling that story to someone else. Like, oh my gosh, I just had a glitch in the Matrix. But like, I can see this happening because I remember one time for my daughter's birthday, I had went to the store and picked up her cake because I had ordered a cake for her, and they texted me and let me know it was ready. So I went and I picked up the cake, and while I was there, I'm like, let me just go ahead and get some cupcakes too. So I got the cake, I bought some cupcakes, and I checked out and everything and went to the car. As soon as I get to the car, I realize I forgot the candles. And then also I'm like, and maybe the cupcakes that I got weren't enough. So I was like, might as well just get like another thing of cupcakes. So I went back in, bought candles and cupcakes. And like, it wasn't the same thing because it's like I had the same stuff. And I didn't pay with the cashier. I paid at like the self-checkout. But like the guy that was at the self-checkout probably looked at me kind of weird. Like, you were just in here. But again, it's just, I can see that happening. Okay, so let's go ahead and read our second story. So this one is called Friend Died in 2003, but now he's alive. That really caught my attention when I read it. So in 2003, I learned that a school friend had died. A friend of his girlfriend told me about it. He just died in his sleep at 23 years old. I asked if a substance was involved, and they said no. She was really sad because they had just gotten engaged. I told myself I would send condolences, but I never did. I remember talking to a mutual friend a few years later, and I got the sense that it was still a really sensitive subject. A couple years ago, I got a friend request from this guy. I didn't think it was real, so I ignored it. Today, I learned that he's alive. He married the girl he was engaged to, the same one he had died next to. The mutual friend I had spoken to about it now thinks I'm crazy. I just asked him to remember the conversation we had about the death. So personally, to me, this doesn't sound like a glitch in the Matrix. It sounds more like he either jumped timelines, or it kind of also sounds like a Mandela effect. But apparently Mandela effects are kind of like you switching timelines. I don't know. Like, I read it and was so confused because, again, I don't think this is a glitch in the Matrix. It sounds more like he switched timelines. So maybe like he was in a different timeline before and the friend really did die and everything happened the way he remembers it. But sometime from then till now, he switched timelines, and in this timeline, his friend didn't die. But like, that would mess with me so bad. Like, when did I switch? You know what I mean? Like, I would have to think back on like when did things start to change, because that's more than likely when you switch timelines. But that is so crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and read the third story. This one is called I Died Last Night, ... but I'm still here. Yeah, so this is another one about like death and not dying. So let's just start. So this actually happened last week. It just took me some time to come to terms with it. I got a phone call from my next door neighbor late in the evening asking if I can help him move a mattress into his upstairs. His mom is ill and has a big, heavy sleep number bed. I, of course, run over to help because they're great neighbors. I get over there and his friend, who is also a priest, was there to help. I helped them figure out how to separate the mattress from the bed so we could fit it upstairs. We get it all moved up and back in place when my neighbor asks if I can help them move an armoire upstairs too. I think nothing of it, and we pull it out of his travel trailer and start bringing it up to the front stairs of his house. This is where I died. The front stairs are 11 steps. I was on the lower end of the armoire, about 6 steps up, when my neighbor and his friend loose a handle on the armoire and it comes crashing down on me and I fall backwards towards the pavement. I then wake up in my dining room to my phone ringing and my wife asking me if I'm going to answer the phone. It's my neighbor asking me if I can help move a bed upstairs for his mom. Okay. I go over there and meet his priest friend again, as this has been the first time I met him. I say, I can help with the bed, but I cannot help with the armoire. My neighbor was like, how do you know about the armoire? As I then proceed to tell them, I'm pretty sure I just died. Pause real quick. Can you imagine the look on their faces? Like, what? I spent the next hour talking with the priest. He had so many questions. My neighbor didn't believe it until I described the upstairs bedroom in perfect detail, down to the metal mattress frame on the floor and the intricate headboard leaning against the wall, and I had never been upstairs in their house before. The priest asked me what I saw after I died. I told him I never actually died before it happened. I woke up at my dining room table. Okay, so this one, I think it's like the same thing as the other one. I don't think it's a glitch in the Matrix necessarily. I think it's more like, this one I do think it's more like they jumped timelines. Or I would have to look into the whole quantum immortality thing. But yeah, I think he switched timelines or something like that happened. And maybe in the other timeline he did die. And then in this one, you know, he said he woke up like 20 minutes before he had actually gotten the call. So I don't know. But that one was just like, I feel like my head would explode if that happened to me. Because how do you explain that? Or like people not believing you, I think is one of the main things that would like get to me. But yeah. Okay. And we just have one more story that we're going to read today. This one was also kind of funny to me. But this one says, me and my daughter witnessed something surreal and unexplainable today. For a few weeks before this, while out driving, I observed pedestrians standing at the traffic lights who will reach into their pocket and look at their phone as they're walking across the road when the light goes green. Nothing significant or strange about this, just one of those mundane things you notice while going about your day. Today I was driving with my daughter and we stopped at a red light at a crossing and there was a man standing there. Nothing out of the ordinary, denim jacket, black cap, glasses, around 6'2". I thought I'd try to weird out my young daughter. She's 5, so I knew I was going to blow her mind. So I said, see that man? When the walking man goes green and he starts to walk across, he'll reach into his pocket and pull out his phone and start looking at it. Watch and see. As he walks across, he reaches into his pocket, but then immediately takes his hand out and looks and points right at me with his mouth open, smiling like, "Gotcha." What? Of course, my daughter found this absolutely hilarious, and I sat there completely mind blown. I must have sat there in silence looking at him walk across for the next 10 seconds. I drove on and had a look at him as I drove past, and he was smirking / laughing. I've been playing it through my head all day. The windows were up, the radio was on, I wasn't shouting, my voice was not even remotely raised. He must have been about 15 to 20 feet away from me. I can't figure out at all how he could have heard me. It's literally impossible. How did he know I was trying to predict he'd reach into his pocket for his phone? The only even remote possibility I can think of is that he has had the same observation as me and thought I might be thinking the same thing, so just went for it. But realistically, what are even the chances of this? Can y'all imagine? Like, it's like he's reading her mind. He was reading her mind like, oh, she told her, like, or that's weird. I didn't even have an explanation for this one, to be honest. I couldn't think of what could have possibly happened. Maybe he's like her guardian angel, so he was just messing with her. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. What do you guys think? Like, definitely could have been her guardian angel and he's just messing with her. You know, and then he went and told his angel buddies, like, you guys, I messed with my person today. And they were probably like, stop doing that. She's gonna catch on.
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know. That is weird though. What do you guys think? Well, anyway, that's all for me today. Yeah, if there's something specific you guys want me to react to read, to talk about, just leave it in the comments. But thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Please come back and watch my next videos. Bye.